Like polished firewood, she wanted a villain combination and they are heavyweight and ring all down and made into thin bangle with snakes heads that she put away for the Rahel. Hammond knew that waiting were not something that could be avoided altogether, at least in practical speaking, but for the rest of her life she advocated small weddings and ordinary clothes. He made them less college efforts. Occasionally, when Hammond listened to songs that she loved on the radio, something stirred inside her, her little age spread under her skin, and she walked out of the world like a witch to a better, happier place. On that days like this, there was something restless and tamed up there. I thought he had temporarily set aside the morality of marriage and divorce would. Even the world changed from a safe mother walk to another wilder sort of walk. She wore flowers in her hair and carried magic secrets in her eyes. She spoke to no one. She spent hours on the riverbank with a little plastic transistor shaped like a tangerine. She smoked a cigarette and midnight twins with what was it that gave Hammond this unsafe edge? This air of unpredictability was what she had battled inside her, an unmixable mix. The infinite tenderness of motherhood and reckless rage of a suicide bomber. It was this that grew inside her, and eventually led her to love by night the man her children, love by the day. To use by night the boy that their children used by day, the boy that the Hestas had torn and Rahel found. On the days that the radio played diamond songs, everyone was a little weary of her. They sent someone that she lived in a penumbra shadows between two worlds, just beyond their grasp to the power, that a woman that they had already them. Now a little left to lose and could therefore be dangerous. So on the days the radio played diamond songs, people avoided her and made little lists around her because everybody agreed that it was best to just let her be. On another day she had deep dimples when she smiled. She had delicate chiseled face, black eyebrows and angle like a soaring seagull's wing, a small straight nose and luminous new brown skin on that sky blue December day. Her well curly head had expanded and whispers in the car wind. Her shoulder snares leafless sari blouse shone as though they had been polished with a high waist shoulder polish. Sometimes she was the most beautiful woman that Esmeralda had ever seen, and sometimes she wasn't. On the back seat on the Plymouth between Esmeralda sat baby Kochama, ex-nun and incumbent baby grand-aunt, in the way that the unfortunate sometimes like the co-unfortunate. Baby Conchama disliked the twins for the she considered them Jim. Fatherless waif, worse still, they were of in the Hebrew's womb. No self-respecting Syrian Christian would ever marry. She was near for them to realize that they, like herself, lived on Cyprus and Yemna house, their maternal grandmother's house, where they really had no right to be. Baby Kochama received an amon because she saw her quarreling with a fate that she, Baby Kochama herself, felt she had graciously accepted. The fate that virgin men less women. The sad for the mulling-less Baby Kochama. She had managed to persuade herself for the years that her unconsummated love for the Father Mulligan had been entirely due to their restraint or determination to do the right thing. She subscribed wholeheartedly to the commonly held view that a married daughter had no position in her parents' home. As for a divorced daughter, according to Baby Kochama, she had no position anywhere at all. And as for a divorced daughter from a love marriage, well, words could not describe Baby Kochama's outrage. As for a divorced daughter from an inter-community love marriage, Baby Kochama chose to remain quiveringly silent on the subject. The twins were too young to understand all this, so Baby Kochama grudged them their moments of happiness when a dragonfly they had caught lifted a small stone off their palms with its legs, when they had permission to puff the pigs or They found an egg hot from a hen, but most of all, she grudged down the comfort they drew from each other. She expected from dance and taking an happiness at the very least. On the way back from the airport, Margaret Kochama was seated in front of with Chaco because she used to be his wife. Sophie Moore would sit between them. Emma would move to the back. There would be two flasks of water. Boiled water for Margaret Kochama and Sophie Moore, tap water for everybody else. The luggage would be in the boat. Ralph thought that the boat was a lovely word, a much better word at any rate than sturdy. Sturdy was a terrible word, like the just near sturdy country woman. A pleasant middle class good furring chair with low knees and supporting. On the Plymouth roof rack there was a far-sided tan linen Plymouth billboard that says on all four sides in elaborate writing, Paradise Pickles and Preserves. Below the writing there were painted bottles of mixed fruit jam, no lime pickle in edible oil, with labels that said in elaborate writing Paradise Pickles and Preserves. Next to the bottles was a list of their Paradise products and Takali answer with his face green and scarce swelling. Lenny Button says shaved the swell of his ballowing skirt, his tail and satious will, and purrs the realm of tales, which was converted K&M Pilates and solicited contribution, was a literal translation of Rachel Locatiendo Rojano, which sounded a little less ludicrous than Emperors of the Realm Tales. But since Comrade had already printed them, no one had the heart to ask him to redo the whole print order. Soon, after Emperors of the Realm Tales became permanent feature in the Paris Pickle and labels. Hammond said that the Katakali dance was already and had nothing to do with anything. Chaco said that he gave the products original flour and would stand them in a good steal when they entered. The Overseas Market. Hammond said that the billboard made them look ridiculous, like a traveling circus with toffins. Mama Che started making pickles commercially soon after Papa Che retired from government service in Delhi. It came to live in Yemen, and the Kottayam Bible Society was having a fair and asked Mama Che to make some of the famous banana jam and tender mango pickle. So quickly Mama Che found that she had more orders than she could cope with. Thrilled with her success, she decided to persist with the pickles and jam and soon found herself busy all year round. Papa Che, for his part, was having trouble coping with the ignominy of retirement. He was 17 years older than Mama Che and realized with a shock that he was an old man when his wife was still in her prime. Though Mama Che's conical corneas was already practically blind, Papa Che would not help her with the pickle making because he did not consider pickle making a settled job for a high-ranking as government official. He had always been a jealous man, so he greatly resented the attention his wife was suddenly getting. His relation around the company's immaculately tailored suits, women styling circles, so around months of red chillings, freshly powdered yellow tamarind, which Mama Che supervised buying, the wigging, the salt and dyeing no limes and tender mangoes. Every night he beat her with a brass flower vase. The beating was only the frequency with which they took place. One night Papa Cheese broke the poor Mama Cheese violin and threw it in the river. Then Chaco came home for a summer vacation from Oxford. He had grown to be a big man and was in those days strong from rowing for value. However, after he arrived, he found Papa Cheese beating Mama Che in the study. Chaco straight into the room, cut Papa Che's face and twisted it around his back. I never want this to happen again, he told his father. However, for the rest of the day, Papa Che sat in the veranda and stared stonily out at the ornamental garden, ignoring the plates of food that Coach Maria brought him. Late at night, he went into the study and brought out of his favorite mahogany rocking chair. He put it down in the middle of the driveway and smashed it into little bits with his plumber's monkey wrench. He left it there into the moonlight, a half-finished wicker and splintered wood. He never touched Mama Che again. but he never spoke to her either as long as he lived. When in Indian anything used Coach Maria or Baby Cochamas intermediaries. In the evening, when new visitors were expected, we'll sit on the veranda and stew buttons or were missing onto his shores, to create the impression that Mama Chi neglected him. To some small degree, it succeeded and further colored in a Yamana's view of working wives. He brought the sky blue Plymouth from an old Englishman monarch. He became familiar-sized in a Yemen and coasting, and putting down a narrow road in his white car, looking at worldly elegant but sweating freely inside his woolen suits. He wouldn't allow Mama or anyone else in the family to use it or even to sit in it. The Plymouth was Papachi's revenge. Papachi had been an imperial entomologist as the Prussian Institute after independence. When the British left, its designation was changed from imperial entomologist to joint director entomology. The here retired had no reason to rank a culture director. His life's greatest setback was not evident that the moth that he had discovered named after him. He fell into a string one evening while he was sitting in the veranda of a rest out after a long dinner field. As he picked it out, he noticed the unusually dense dorsal tufts. He took a closer look with crying excitement. Simone did measured it the next morning, placing it in the sun for a few hours for that cold to evaporate. Then he caught the first train back to Delhi to taxonomic attention and he hoped fame. After 6 unbearable months of anxiety, to Papa's intense disappointment, he was told that his moth had finally been identified as a slightly unusual race of a well-known species that belonged to the tropical family Limantridae. The real blow came 12 years later, when as a consequence of radical taxonomy reshuffle, Lepidopteris decided the Papachi's moth was in fact a separate species, and genus Idea turned out science. By then, of course, Papachi had to return and move to Yemen. It was too late for him to assert his claim to discovery. His moth was named after the acting director of the Department of Demonology, a university whom Papachi had always disliked. In the years to come, even though he had been in humor long before he discovered the moth, Papachi's moth was seldom responsible for his black moods and sudden bouts of temper. His pernicious ghost grey, firing with the unusually dense dorsal tuft, haunted every house that he never lived in it, tormenting him and his children and his children's children, until the day he died in the stifling Yemen heat. Every single day, Papachi wore a well-pressed three-piece suit and his gold pocket watch. On his dressing table next to his cologne and silver hairbrush, he kept picturing himself as a young man with his hair slicked down, taking a photographer's studios in Vienna, where he had torn the 6 month diploma course that had a caliph and him to apply for the post of imperial entomologist. It was during those few months they spent in Vienna that Mamachis took their first lessons in violin. Lessons were abruptly discontinued when Mamachis teacher, Longsin Tifta, made the mistake telling Papachi that his wife was exceptionally talented and in his opinion, potentially concerned class. Mamachi pasted in the family photograph album the clipping from the Indian Express, a report Papachi's death. It said, not the etymology, Sri Benan John Hype, son of late Reverend E. John Hype of Yemen and popular known as Punyan Kinshu, suffered from self time passed away at the Kottayam General Hospital last night. He developed chest pains around 5 past 1 a.m. and was rushed to hospital. The end came at quarter to 3 a.m. Shri Hype had been keeping in different outfits in the last 6 months. He is survived by his wife Sushama and 2 children. And Papachi's funeral, Mamachi's cried and her contact lenses slid around her eyes. Hamu told the twins that the Mamachi was crying more because she was used to him than because she loved him. She was used to having him slouching around the pickle factory and was used to be beaten from time to time. Hammond said that human beings were cautious very bad, and it was imagine the kind of things they could get used to. You only looked around you, Hammond said, to see that pigeons with spread faces were the least of them. After the funeral, Mamachi asked Rahel to help her relocate and remove her contact lenses with a little orange pipette that came in its own case. Rahel asked Mamachi whether after Mamachi died she could inherit the pipette. Hammond took her out of the room and to her. I never want to hear you discussing people's death with them again, she said. Jesus here held for being so insensitive. The photograph of Papachi's in Vienna with her Jesus laid down was framed put up in the drawing room. It was a photogenic man, deep and careful groom with a little man's largest head, yet an incipient second chin that would have been emphasized had he looked down or nodded. And the photograph had taken care to hold his head here high enough to hide his double chin, yet not so high as to appear haughtily. His light brown eyes were polite and maleficent, as though he was making an effort to be civil to the photographer while plotting to murder his wife. And a little fleshy knob on the center of his upper lip, and that dropped down over his lower lip in a sort of effeminate pot, the kind of children who suck their thumbs develop. He had an elongated dimple on his chin, which only served to underline the frit of a larkin meaning violence, a sort of containing cruelty. He wore khaki jeweled purse, though he had never ridden a horse in his life. His riding boots reflected the photograph's studious lights. An ivory-handled reading crops lying neatly across his lap. There was watchful stillness to the photograph that lent an underlying chill to the warm room in which it hung. When he died, Papachi left France full of expensive suit and chocolate tin full of chuffling to the Chaco distributed among the taxi drivers in Kotaya. They were separated, made into rings and pendants for married-daughter dowries. When the twins asked what coffee links were for, to link us together until then, they were to fill by this morsel of logic what, and so far as seemed an illogical language, calf link. This to see and reveal the precision and logic of mathematics. Calf-links get an inordinate, if exaggerated, satisfaction and real affection with the English language. I must say that Papachi was an incorruptible British CCP, which was short for the Chichi Poch and the Indy Minch Whipper. Chaco said that the core word for people like Papachi was Anglophile. It made Ralph Nesta look up. Anglophile in the Reader's Digest Great Encyclopedic Dictionary is it person well disposed to the English. Then Nesta and Rahel look up disposal. It says place suitable in a particular order, bring mind into certain states, do what one will with, get of one end, slow away, demolish, finish, settle, consume, food, kill, sell. Chaco said the Papachi's case mean bring men into certain states, which Chaco said mean the Papachi's mind had been brought into state which had made him like the English. Chaco told the twins that through he hated to admit it, they were all Anglophiles. They were family of Anglophiles or Anglophiles, pointed in the wrong direction, trapped outside their own history, and unable to retrace their steps because their footprints had been swept away. He explained to them that history was like an old house at night, with all the lamps lit and ancestors whispering inside. To understand history, Chaco said we have to go inside and listen to what they are saying and look at the books and the picture on the wall and smell the smells.